You have unconscious biases. I have unconscious biases. We all have unconscious biases. This is something we cannot avoid, and we cannot cure ourselves of it. But before we get any further, let us recap. What is this mysterious thing called unconscious bias that we all seem to have? I mean, can it really be all that bad if we all have it in common? Well, unconscious biases are learned stereotypes that are automatic, unintentional, and deeply ingrained within our beliefs, universal, and can affect our behavior. Still not convinced that we all have these biases ingrained in who we are? Close your eyes for a second as I try to demonstrate what an unconscious bias is through an example we should all be able to either identify with or at the very least appreciate. Make sure your eyes are closed. Imagine you are stuck in a car park because the battery of your car has gone flat. Chances are that you would most likely approach men instead of women if you needed assistance with jump-starting your car. You may open your eyes now. At this point, you may be laughing because the example I have just shared seems like an innocent and maybe harmless form of unconscious bias. However, when left unchecked, our unconscious biases can cause a lot of problems for us and others in the workplace. Today, it would be difficult to come across human resource managers in South Africa who do not advocate for diversity in their organizations in one way or another. Diversity is a big part of what it means to be South African or to live and work in South Africa. There are 11 official languages, and people identify as belonging to various racial, cultural, gender, religious, and ethnic groups. This diversity is acknowledged, celebrated, debated, and even enforced in organizations through legislation in the form of the Employment Equity Act and the Broad-Based Black Economic Empowerment Act. This country is a rainbow in its truest sense, but diversity in organizations is not only there for show, as organizations stand to gain multiple benefits from having a diverse workforce. Diversity in organizations along cultural, racial, and ethnic lines is reported to correlate with financial performance amongst executive teams, according to McKinsey's Delivering Through Diversity report. This is good news for those in favor of diversity, but what does all of this have to do with unconscious bias? The problem is, unconscious bias causes us to make decisions in favor of one group over another group. This is what brings about favoritism in the workplace and creates situations where others are automatically disregarded for opportunities such as promotions, exciting assignments, and bonuses. It influences recruiters' hiring decisions and can ultimately result in recruiters hiring the least qualified and undeserving candidate simply because they identify with them. As you can imagine, such a decision can have devastating consequences for an organization and results in organizations losing out on high-quality prospective employees. To the outgroup, to those being overlooked, this treatment can be a source of a lot of strain and stress if left unchecked and can have major implications for other desired outcomes. It could negatively affect employee performance if those hired lack the necessary skills to effectively and efficiently execute their tasks. It could also negatively impact the commitment of other employees, as employees are unlikely going to want to stay in an organization where they experience unequal treatment that they perceive to be unfair. In order to avoid all these possible outcomes, organizations have been investing in training their employees, recruiters, and managers to help reveal and tackle unconscious bias in the workplace through training programs aimed at building awareness. Organizations such as Google, Starbucks, Facebook, the University of California in San Francisco, and the Association of American Medical College are all well known for investing heavily in such programs. Google, for instance, has made 60,000 of their employees participate in a 90-minute implicit bias training program. More notably, Starbucks enrolled 175,000 of their employees in a program designed to prevent discrimination and enhance inclusion. These leading organizations clearly understand the impact that such training programs have for dealing with issues that can greatly affect the success of an organization if left unobserved and unmanaged. This program is not designed to fix your unconscious bias, but to serve as a starting point on the journey of inclusivity. To reach this point, it is important that you work daily on uncovering and understanding your unconscious biases. The second part of this training program is aimed at equipping you with information and skills to help you deal with your unconscious biases. Impactful skills to address unconscious bias that you will learn are how to test your assumptions and how to be inclusive every day. Each skill is further broken down into positive habits that one can develop and easily continue after this course. We hope you have enjoyed listening to this video and you have learned more about unconscious bias and why it is important to address it.